Hello, hello. So I've had to put, hello, I've had to put, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this canvas bag that we worked on last week, or I guess it was the week before last now. So this is the bag that we worked on a couple of weeks ago, and this is one of my decoupage tissues, and I have a big one of her now also that we're going to do a future project in, but she's got all kinds of gears and rhinestones. Hi, Patty. She's got all kinds of embellishments on her. And then I painted the back of the bag in Anchor. It's a silk paint, so I don't have to seal it or anything because it's a silk paint and it's already got a sealer in it. And I get those canvas bags from Michaels. This is the brand. And I always just wait till I get my coupon, and then I get them at a discount. And I do a lot of these, so I just keep them on hand because they are so great for anything. Hi, Rosalind. So, and I love doing these bags. I really do. I've done a bunch. And last week I also put Harlequin on the strap. I haven't put it on this strap because I just painted it. So now we're going to put the Harlequin on the back of the bag. And I have, in case you didn't see the previous video, I have a plastic bag with a file folder wrapped. The file folder, manila folder, is wrapped with a plastic bag, and I've got that in the inside so that nothing seeps through. But you can see, painting the black on there, nothing has gone through this bag. But, you know, it's just a precaution. So let me put the camera down and let's get busy. And I don't think it's going to matter if I turn it the right side for you guys. This is a stencil that I have on my website. So if you're interested in it, it's on my website and it's under stencils. And this is a mylar. This is reusable. I have a lot of one-time not reusable stencils on there. So this one is reusable and I've used it a lot, as you can see. And I just really like the size on here. And I'm using the edge that's already on there as my guide. And I'm just going to tack it down with a little bit of tape here, just so it doesn't shift on me. So what projects have you guys been working on? And I did put my link on the description to my website if you're interested in that steampunk girl. She's on the website. There's a couple of different sizes for her. And my new tissues that were just released are all up and loaded on the website and on my Etsy site. And I've already sold out of a bunch of guys. It's crazy. Okay, so I like this gold for this project. This is Liquitex. I get it at Michael's again when I have a coupon because this isn't exactly cheap. But I use this with my jelly plate, and And I have some really nice gold paints, but I just thought, oh, this will work really nice to stencil on here. And it does work really nice. And I like using these makeup brushes to do the stenciling, so I have a couple of those. And I'm just going to squirt out a little bit. And we'll start off with this. I'm trying to make sure you guys are in the camera. I've got my laptop up here, which I don't usually have it up here. So, okay, so I'm just putting some on this makeup brush and then tapping it back off. And I've taped this down, and I'm just going to hold it down with my fingertips and just pounce up and down. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. It can be a little bit on the abstract side. I like that look, especially when you're doing steampunk. I've done these bags I've taught classes on them. They're always really popular to teach a class on because everybody gets to pick out a design that they like. So then everybody gets to see a bunch of different designs done on the bags. They're great for Christmas time because you're getting two gifts in one. You put your gift inside it and fill it up with some pretty Christmas tissue paper. And then they're great for the rest of the year. I have several that I carry around. And I always get compliments on them. So you can see how fast and easy this is the complete video on decoupaging the whole piece. And these designs, in case you don't know, this is my line of decoupage tissue. I'm Deborah Bucher Designs, and I have my own line of decoupage tissue, and I do have retailers. And if your retailer isn't carrying it, tell them you want them to. This is going to be so cool when I lift this up. I did mention that I used the black silk paint. It's called Anchor, And the silk paint is the Dixie Belle line that has the primer, the paint color, and the top coat in it. And so it was only one coat to do this. And I don't have to put a top coat on it because it's already got a top coat. So when I finish this embellishment, it's a done deal. We're going to finish it up today. I love Harlequins, you guys. I know a lot of people like to do the check pattern, but I am a Harlequin girl. And I have Harlequin stencils in all different sizes. I did a big table. I still have it. I need to just pull it out of my garage and list it for sale. I did a big table and I literally drew out the Harlequin pattern. I drew it on a piece of like a file folder card and then just took that and kept drawing it out until I had that whole tabletop covered, and then had to hand paint it. And they didn't have silk paint back then, so then I had to go in and I got a little blob of paint there. So then, you know, in places I had to go in and put a second or third coat on, and to stay in those first lines and still put an additional coat on. Oh my gosh, I worked on that table forever. So if I have any imperfections on here when I lift this up, I can always go back with my black paint and touch it up. It may have just like shifted on me a little bit on that last Harlequin. And if you're interested in a stencil, this stencil is on my website, and the link for my website is in the description. And the decoupage tissue that's on this piece is also on my website and on my Etsy. Either you're not saying anything or I'm not getting any comments for sure. I think black and gold makes such a pretty combination too. It's just really rich looking. And like I said, it's going to have good coverage. You're going to know that it's a Harlequin on here, but if there's like little spots that aren't completely, then it just gives it kind of that, what I call a Harlequin grunge look, which is really popular. I ordered these trays off of Amazon, your styrofoam like food plates. They make great paint trays. And then I ordered the little cups like this and mix paint and colors, or put my satin top coat, which I use for decoupage medium. I can just squirt it in there, and if I don't use it all, I just pop a lid on it. I get those off of Amazon too. It's a good way to get your fingernails painted. When I was doing this a couple of weeks ago, while I was doing the same thing, I got paint on my fingernails, and even though I've washed my hands multiple times, it took a few days for that to wash off. I'm up here where the handle attaches, so it's not laying flat, so hopefully my Harlequin will look okay. Okay, so I'm going to set that out of the way and take the hair dryer, and before I lift the stencil up, I just want to give it a quick little dry here. Okay, so I'm going to, woohoo, look at that. Pretty, pretty. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. Okay, so I'm going to move this over a skosh and I'm going to lay it back down. And the way I'm going to lay it back down is I'm going to lay it so that a couple of my diamonds that I've already done are lined up with this so that my pattern will continue to line up. Does that make sense? Can you see what I'm doing? So these diamonds, this row of diamonds I've already done. Let's see, I think I had this going this way. Okay, so this lines up well. Okay, so we'll just continue on. I love how that looks. I'm really happy with it. So you can see why I went ahead and painted the whole back of the bag black, because you guys would have been bored out of your minds just watching me paint this bag black, and I know you all know how to do that. My tape isn't wanting to stick there. I don't want it to shift on me. So what would you sell a bag like this for? If you were making this to sell, what would you price it at? Loretta, I'm using, this is Liquitex Gold, and that's what I'm using for the gold on this bag. I used Dixie Belle Silk in the anchor because this is 3 coats, or 3 paints in one. It's the primer, it's the paint color, and the top coat. So it only took 1 coat on this bag. We're almost ready to lift this one. Okay, and we want to give it a quick little dry. Okay, this is the best part. Woohoo! Look at that, you guys. Isn't that pretty for the back of the bag? Now I can see on the screen that there's something that's a little smeared, but I can't see it. Is it right there? Yep. It's not actually smeared. It looks like it needs a little bit of black there. But it really shows up on the screen more than it does in person. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around just so I can do the bottom of it, but oh boy, do I love that. That's just what I had in mind. So if you guys came in late and you haven't seen the front of the bag, here's the front. Yeah, Patricia, I remember talking to you too. We were lucky girls. So isn't she pretty? So this is the front of the bag. And you can see I did a little bit of Harlequin up here at the top and down here, just a little bit, just so it all ties in. And we aren't going to get to it tonight, but I'll just tell you, I'm going to use some Dixie Belle clear wax on the front of her. And she's got all her jewels on now and everything, but I'm just going to take my French tip brush. I love these brushes for putting wax on. And I'm just going to put a coat of wax on there, and that's going to do two things. It's going to give me another layer of protection, and it will help make this bag just be soft and flexible. But we need to finish up this bottom. I'm so happy with how this looks. And so just remember, the trick is just to line up where your pattern is. Just match it, like I'm lining up these areas up here. And by doing that, then when I carry on down below, it's going to all match up. Okay, press that down, press that down. Okay, let's get her done. I think having this gold Harlequin on the back also just makes it look very rich and expensive. This looks to me like something you would find in a resort gift shop. And if you're a person who makes things for bazaars and stuff, like Christmas bazaars and things like that, this would be a really good seller, I'm sure. Any of these designs, decoupage designs, just go on so nicely on these bags. And I think I buy 3 bags at a time, and I always use a coupon when I buy them because I just keep them in stock. And so I think it costs me less than $5 a bag. But, for family and friends at Christmas time, I make a bunch of them. And then instead of wrapping their packages, I fill their bag up with their gifts and then top it off with pretty tissue paper. And it makes such a beautiful presentation. And it's something, I've done Easter ones. It's just something that you can do for any occasion. I'm up here on the rim where this bag folds in on top of itself, and so it's a little tricky. I love doing these bags, you guys. It's really hard for me not to do them all the time on a live. There are just certain things that I just really like to do, and it's like sometimes I just have to tell myself, no, you've done that too many times lately. And I'm using up stuff that I have on hand. So I have a lot of trays. I can make a lot of signs. I do have some furniture pieces, you guys, that I'm getting ready. Like I had designed and ordered specifically tissue paper to do my jewelry armoire. And I don't have a single piece of it left because I sold every bit of it. And I'm really bummed. So I'm getting ready to place another order. But I'm going to be doing that jewelry armoire with you guys. And And I was out in my garage today and it was like, Deb, you just need to do some furniture pieces because you got a lot of furniture out here. But what happens, you guys, is that furniture pieces, you know, you can't get done in a couple of lives. So I end up doing this. I either do them for a couple of lives and then I move on to something else. And then those pieces sit there waiting for me to get back to them. And frankly, I'm sick and tired of having pieces that are half done or 3/4 of the way done. It's like a vicious cycle. Because it's not like I'm sitting around here twiddling my thumbs when I'm not going live. I literally folded tissue 8 to 10 hours a day for 7 days this week. When you got to take ibuprofen in the afternoon, you know. Got one tiny little row down here. This gold paint is really nice to use to pounce on here too. Give it a quick dry. Okay, one more little section. We're almost there, you guys. I decided while I was sitting here with you guys thinking you were silent, I can't use my iPad anymore. I read online that everybody's having trouble with their iPads when they do a live. So I tried it a couple of weeks and I even brought it in here to try it out today to see if Facebook had fixed it. And they haven't. You know what Facebook did? I have to tell you guys. Last week, like at 11 o'clock at night, I got a notification from Facebook that told me I had posted something inappropriate on my personal page that went against Facebook standards, that I posted a picture that was inappropriate, and they don't tell you what's inappropriate about it, just that you've done something inappropriate. And I was like, I couldn't even remember what I posted. Of course, I'd gone to bed and I'd had a glass of wine, so that could have been part of it. But I still knew I hadn't posted something inappropriate. I just don't do that. And that I could not do any lives. That my penalty was that I could not do any lives for a month. And there was a whole list of penalties that I was going to get, and I was like, really ticked off about it. And I thought, well, I wasn't going to do a live last week anyway because I knew I was going to be folding all of that tissue, but it still just annoyed me. And then I woke up the next morning and I was still just really annoyed about it. And it does give you, you know, if you think there's a mistake on this, it gives you, you can just say it needs to be reviewed, that I don't agree with this. So I clicked on that, but I was really annoyed the next morning when I woke up and it was like, I can't believe that they think I posted something that's inappropriate. And on my personal page, I do put some political things on there. And, you know, if you're a follower and you don't appreciate that, I don't do it on my business page, on my Deborah Bucher Designs. But on my personal page, I feel like I can post whatever I want on my personal page. But I didn't put anything that was, you know, like pornography, or I didn't put anything that was inappropriate. So then the next day I wake up and I'm thinking about it and I'm still just really annoyed by the whole thing, because trying to communicate with Facebook for your business or anything else is, you might as well be trying to communicate on Mars. And I know a lot of people that have had their pages just shut down, period. And some of them have had to hire attorneys to get them back. And I was just like, if that's the case, I'm done with Facebook. And so like a couple of hours later, I'm on Facebook and it's letting me post stuff. And then I get a notification from them that they had reviewed my page and it was their apologies that there was nothing posted inappropriate. And what I had posted, they reposted, they put back. And I was like, I just really need to like safeguard myself against Facebook because they are just not good. So I have been toying with setting up StreamYard and using StreamYard, and it will broadcast to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And so when I couldn't get your comments and stuff today, I was like, okay, Deb, you just got to move forward with that and stop procrastinating. Yeah, Deborah, you're right. Facebook is out of control. But at least they admitted that I hadn't posted anything inappropriate and corrected it pretty darn quickly. But I was just like so disgusted by the whole thing. It was like, all right, I'm done with Facebook. But I am done with them. I'm going to, maybe by next week, I can get everything tested and set up for, because I'm already on YouTube. It's just so hard. It takes so much time for me to edit and post up on, take it from Facebook and post it up on YouTube, that if I just went there live to start with, it would just be so much easier. Oh my goodness, I love this so much, you guys. I'm gonna put the camera up so I can hold this up. Woohoo, hello. Okay, isn't that stunning? Don't you just love that? I think that is so pretty. And then here's the other side. And then one handle is done. When we hang up, I'm going to do the other handle. And then just let this dry really well. I am going to wax the front. Hi, Charlie. Thank you, Patricia. Yeah, I think it's really pretty. I love how this turned out. This was fun. You see her earrings? See the sparkle on her earrings? She's got sparkles up there on her hat. And I added to her necklace. See the chain on her necklace? That's the same chain I put on her earrings. I just think she turned out super, super pretty, and I love the Harlequin on the back. I just think this is a cool bag. You can put your books in it, pick up your mail in it, take it to the beach, on vacation. Everybody's going to want to know where you got it. Okay, you guys. So that's it. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me. Easy of designs, because I love this design so much. There are literally now, I know there's for sure 2 different decoupage papers, but I think there might be 3 with her on it in different formats, because this one has this one that I use. There's 4 of them on one page. They all are different poses. Oh yeah, okay. This is the 3rd time I've used it, or the 2nd time. And then I did a sign like 6 weeks or 2 months ago with one of them, a wooden sign that came out really, really cool. And then I decided I have a really cool suitcase that I got from Michael's. If any of you guys are followers of Debbie Riggs in the Sisterhood, she used my flamingo steampunk paper and put it in this really cool suitcase. And then she auctioned it off for $450. It was amazing. It was worth every penny of it. And so I decided I wanted to do the same steampunk gal in that suitcase. So then when I was sending in my last order and designs for decoupage tissue, I hurried and put her on one whole half sheet, and then the newspaper print that we used on here I put on the other half. So if anybody after I do that suitcase wants to do that same thing, then you've got a larger print and you've got the newspaper. And you could do that on here too, because it's the same newspaper I used on here too. So anyway, you guys, I enjoyed when I saw you guys were actually on here and chatting with me. It was like Christmas. I got all excited. I'm all happy now. So thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for being so faithful and supporting me. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys have a great night. And if you think this was worth sharing, then I would love it if you would sprinkle it out there for me. You guys have a great night. Thanks a bunch. Bye. You too, Lori.